legends are made. The one and only, self-made, Kyle Henderson. Let a naysayer know. Roll Tide, roll.
Fam, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I'm telling you, Alabama is back, and I can't wait to talk about today's Nuggets. Remember, you used to have to pay for all this stuff. This is all free, and I appreciate you being here supporting the product right here on Bama football on YouTube. Today, we're going to talk about the team Nuggets. We're also going to dive into what Coach Kalen DeBoer has to say, his press conference coming up after this Nugget report. And I appreciate you guys being here and being subscribers of Bama football on YouTube. You guys could be anywhere else. Remember to go out and support the players, their brands, right? Whether that's on Athletes Thread or through Lank or through Yay Alabama, whatever it is, please support the players and the overall brand. And thanks for supporting me right here on Bama football on YouTube. So let's dive into the Nugget report today. Look, Alabama, I'm not going to lie, man. These guys absolutely rolling with it. And I'll bring it full screen, and then we'll kind of go line by line and talk about today's action. This is the main event, as Jarvis says inside the comment box, and let's get it going right here. We'll start with point number one, and big plays, all right? You're talking big plays from this Alabama second scrimmage, and from what I understand, of course, these are closed events, but from what I understand, Jalen Milroe absolutely polished once again. And look, from what I heard, all right, Milroe hit Ryan Williams, who is a freshman, in the beginning of the scrimmage for what I understand to be a really big play. Big play means a 40-yard play. Now, was it a touchdown? I don't think it was a touchdown, but I love to see that connection early on. I mean, you look at last weekend's scrimmage, and you see Jalen Milroe performing at a very high level, going to Ryan Williams, who scored a 50-yard touchdown, and you see Ryan Williams shining today as a true freshman. It really is impressive to me that he continues to show up at this high of a level, and Jalen Milroe playing at a very, where I see Jalen Milroe right now, I think he's about to explode. So if you were able to get him, if you bet and you were able to get him like at plus 1,400 in the Heisman Trophy, my goodness, because what he's about to do to college football, I don't think you guys are ready. I don't think the world of college football is ready for Jalen Milroe in 2024, okay? And that's not the hype machine, like literally. Let's talk about more what he did today. All right, you know who had a really good day was Rico Scott. Rico Scott is just a freshman as well, which is crazy, okay? So Rico Scott today caught a touchdown from who I believe to be Dylan Lonergan. And he also caught a touchdown from Jalen Milroe, all right, which was a big touchdown pass. So you see Jalen Milroe, and just as Nick Sheridan said, a lot of these wide receivers are going to be rotating in and out. And that doesn't mean they might be the starter. He wants them to play at all different positions. But to see early progress, one of the guys you were asking me about is Rico Scott. Well, here comes Rico Scott, another freshman. You know, I mean, you saw him make a really good play on some of Alabama Athletics footage from a one-handed grab. But, I mean, the guy's ultra-talented. And certainly people are sleeping on maybe Rico Scott. And I get it. Like, a lot of that could be the overshadowing of Ryan Williams. But absolutely doing a killer job in terms of what he did today at the scrimmage. Other big plays that included, look, I'm not going to give too much away because I don't want to even provide like a competitive advantage for anyone else out there that is trying to, play against Alabama, even though they had J.J. Watt right at the stadium. You don't think he's there today watching the team, coming back to his alma mater and telling them what's up? I mean, I don't know if that exists, but, you know, if I'm posted up, you know, who knows? They literally had somebody that they're about to play. Obviously JJ's not going to say anything. It was cool to see him there at the stadium though with the players. But there was a little bit of razzle dazzle, all right, on a play, and you know Jalen Milroe got hot and he got loose and scored another touchdown. So look, Milroe on the ground had a big touchdown, threw 2 touchdowns to 2 freshmen, which I thought was very notable. Other quarterback play, I heard Ty Simpson had a really nice ball to Emmanuel Henderson. Remember, we were talking about Emmanuel Henderson, and someone kept saying, they were like, man, you hyping up Emmanuel Henderson. And of course I'm hyping him up, right? He was injured last season, Came in. Someone said he was a 4-star. I read on the university bio that he was a 5-star. I don't care. He's an in-state guy that was shortchanged last season. So, for him to make a big play from Ty Simpson, a quality quarterback, I'm excited about it. I heard that Emmanuel Henderson had to lay out too. He had to nicely lay out for the scoop and brought it in. So that was a 40-yard drive, a 40-yard reception. All right. I'm not going to lie. Heard that Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell, like when they're released and they're ready to go, they are bringing a lot of pressure. And not surprised to see it. Heard it was affecting Jalen Milroe, at times. But I like I like that. And I heard that the defense made a vast improvement week over week. And even you heard Kane Womack talking about that. You come out to a scrimmage and the offense has its scripted plays. And look, the defense has to turn up because I still think that the offense is ahead of the defense. And I think that the defense, will get there in time. Absolutely. Look at all the starters. And by the way, the corners that started today, Xavier Brown, this is what I heard. Devontae Jackson, Devontae Smith at Husky, Malachi Moore, and Keon Sabb. Love that lineup. And it's good to see Xavier Brown back at that first team, corner spot. Good pressure from those two inside linebackers, though. You know what? I want to talk about some game balls right now. The game balls that I'm giving out from the Nuggets that I received, okay? Ryan Williams, all right, still getting another. This is the second time that he's gotten a game ball, okay, on Bama Football on YouTube, okay? Jalen Milroe, think he's playing at an absolutely high level, crushing it. Had 2 touchdown passes and another one on the ground. You know who I want to talk about today is Grant Nicholson. Now, I would say that the first scrimmage, it wasn't his best showing at Alabama. Call it nerves, call it whatever you want to say. I think he didn't have his best showing. Today, thought he did, in what I understand, he did much better, right? So when they start out these scrimmages, how Kalen DeBoer has it, he has special teams in the beginning. So he was 2 of 3, hitting one from 40 yards. But during action, from what I understand, from multiple sources, he hit a 41-yard field goal, okay? And he also hit another for 40 yards out. It looked closer to 50. That's what I was told, all right? I think it's Graham Nicholson, so I think I have to update that. So my bad on that. I will adjust, that on the graphic. Thanks for pointing that out. Graham Nicholson, all right? Not Grant. But in terms of him, the respect of him coming back and being able to, have a release, he was a weapon today. I mean, I said it on the list. Johnny, we'll get to that in just a second, and we'll see what Coach Kalen DeBoer has to say as well about his Alabama Crimson Tide fresh off its second scrimmage, right? I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you inside the comment box. I just wanted to highlight Graham, and I'll update that going forward. I do all the graphics. I cook up everything. I do the content. I do the ad. I do every single thing you see, so I got a lot of stuff cooking, man, and I'm human. So we'll continue to roll through it. But getting to him, Graham Nicholson, the kicker, did a really great job today. All right. Let's continue to roll through the Nuggets right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here, too. Thank you so much. If you guys could take a minute, hit the thumbs up. That would really go a long way for me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And Wayne, you're talking about Hollywood with the ones. Man, look, because, you hype up all these freshmen. But to see him competing at this level as a freshman, like it's happening. Right, got a 50-yard touchdown, a 40-yard touch. It wasn't a touchdown day, but a 40-yard play from Jalen Milroe. Like, he's playing, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Damian. Appreciate it, man. And please go support, the University of Alabama, their players. Now it's this NIL deal, so you got to be able to go and support them. And thank you for supporting me. And if you want to take it a level up and you appreciate the content that I am providing you guys, $2.99 to support the YouTube channel as a whole, right? So thank you so much for going out there. Jarvis, I saw it, man. New office looks good. He's getting settled in. Carrick, what's up, man? I see you, Taylor, inside the comment box. Dude, that's the crazy thing, Lance, is Ryan Williams is only 17 years old. 17. All right, let's continue to talk about, and we'll go back to game balls here in just a second. Improvement from the defense, I talked about that. I think the defense had a better showing from what I understand, which is really good because I think you look to that secondary and, they're going to be tested early on. I would test them. You're going against these first 3 games, I am going directly at that secondary. They're going to be tested early on, which I think will help them grow up for that back end of the schedule. Let's talk about the special teams report. Okay, so this is interesting. So usually you don't hear anything about kick returner, punt returner. Who's it going to be? From what I understand, looks like the kick returners. This is important. Could be Jalen Mbakwe and Cole Adams. How you feel about that? You happy about Jalen Mbakwe and Cole Adams? I like it. I like to hear it. Right. Didn't hear anything on Bray Hubbard just yet, but I'm excited to see him kind of progress in his game. I think he's one of the players who will probably, I think he's ready this year. Probably see him more next year, though. And then punt returners, from what I understand, it looks like Cole Adams could be that guy to be the first team punt returner. But you also have Jalen Mbakwe, true freshman. Ryan Williams returning punts, what I heard. And could also see Kendrick Law. Okay. So that's kind of the special team support. Look, you need guys who are absolutely have that acceleration, agility. So when you think of like a guy who has those characteristics, certainly Cole Adams, who I think had a couple of receptions today as well, which is no surprise. I think he also took a really big hit today. I mean, he's a guy coming across the middle. That's the job. All right, we talked about the corners. Xavier Brown back with the first team. Damani Jackson. You also have Devontae Smith at that Husky position, Malachi Moore and Keon Sapp at the safety position, right? Wanted to give some salutes today, all right? I wanted to give a salute to Geno Vandermark. Heard that he got some good repetitions today. Now, you're going to see a lot of this, going forward. Like, during these scrimmages, it's physical, okay? I'm going to share one more nugget with you coming up that's really, really important. 2 of them. Heard that Geno Vandermark saw some time. I think there's some info out there. I saw it on Twitter, saw it on X or whatever about Jaden Roberts being, injured. I don't know. You have to ask Coach Kalen DeBoer on the injuries. So I'm sure the recruiting sites, will have information on that. I don't know. Somebody said something about Jaden Roberts. I don't know. Now, like I said, I wasn't there. So a lot of this, I've been here for 8 years. Imagine, the people that I talk to, right? So I appreciate it, man. And someone just met my son at Chick-fil-A. So Caden works at Chick-fil-A. And someone just texted me. They're like, hey, I met your son at Chick-fil-A. So I'm working, my son's working. I love that, man, right? Man, that's cool. He says, just met your boy at Chick-fil-A. Fine young man. Apple doesn't fall from the tree. Man, Caden's, man, he's amazing. Man, good to hear. Okay, so I wanted to give a salute to Jaden Roberts. Heard he played significant today. And the thing about what was important about Geno Vandermark and getting him to the University of Alabama, where he transferred from Michigan State, was the fact that he can play center, he can play guard. Today, so the quarterback combination, you have Jalen Milroe, who's the center for him is Parker Brailsford. You have Ty Simpson. His center is Rock Montgomery. And then the third center is Geno Vandermark, who snapped into Austin Mack, right? And today he saw time at guard. So he's a very like a key addition, right? Currently listening to this while working at Chick-fil-A as well. Oh, Brady, what's up, man? I appreciate it, man. So that's good. I also wanted to give a salute to King Mack. We haven't really talked about another transfer, that came over from Penn State. People excited about him. Probably with the 2 deep right now at the safety position. Heard he made a really good interception today that I guess you could call it a pick 6 or whatever. In terms of like injuries and stuff, you have to check with Coach Kalen DeBoer. I don't really know about that. I did hear that Jam Miller in a black jersey. Oh, this is what I didn't talk about. So with Jam Miller in a black jersey, I don't know like how many, carries he had or anything like that. Heard Justice Haynes had some nice runs, but it was Richard Young who saw time with the ones today and had a touchdown run from let's say 10 yards out or something like that. So feel good. And I heard there was some razzle dazzle. So, but check this out, okay? I'm not going to tell you who it was, the players that this happened to. But this happened, all right? This is fact, okay? And this is a good thing. Don't be blown away from what I'm going to tell you, all right? There was a little dust up at the end of the scrimmage, all right? Some guys throwing fisticuffs, okay? That's a good thing. You want that mentality with these guys. Can you imagine? These guys have been together since, and this isn't like, stuff that is earth shattering. This happens everywhere, okay? Like, if you've ever played competitive sports, you shouldn't be surprised to hear something like this. Don't be like, oh my God, these guys are they're not. They're competitive alpha males, okay? So there was a little bit of dust up, and I like to see, exactly, Jarvis, it's a good sign. When you start to hear that, like in the past, there's been like dust ups or guys, get after it, and someone's like, man, we're about to run this thing. Because that tells you about these guys want to compete, right? They want to play at the ultimate highest level and win a championship, right? Like, so, love to see. Thank you. See, you guys have played sports. You understand this, right? I appreciate it, man. Alan, thank you so much. Every single video that I do, I promise to give all of my energy and my heart to you. I promise you. Like, that is my goal, is to talk positively about the university, talk positively about the athletes, but also tell the truth, right? If somebody's not cutting it, we got to talk about it, right? There's always a lot of twisted information about who Kyle Henderson is. If you watch my daily show, you know exactly who I am. This is who I am, right? There might be people that are jealous of the channel that it has 106,000. I work for it every single day. I come with it. That's why I love covering the Alabama football team, because iron sharpens iron, right? I love it. I love that mentality. And when you hear that these guys are, there's a dust up or they're fighting, it's good. That's competitive sports. Obviously, you don't want that to happen during a game. But man, like, let the guys compete. Fight for what you want. I'm going to tell you what, too. Alabama hasn't won a national championship since 2020. That's too long for Alabama fans. And when I say that, people are like, oh, you guys are a spoiled fan base, whatever. Sorry, that's the standard. That's why Greg Byrne went out and got somebody who just played in a national championship. Right? Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the super chats, for becoming a fan funder. If you want to continue to support Bama football on YouTube, I'm going to chop up Coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference after this, load it to the channel, kind of package it, listen to what he said, and, bring that to you right here on Bama football on YouTube. So one more time, kind of go over the game balls for you guys. And it looks like this is being reported. I just saw this on X from a great team reporter, Tony Tsoukalis. He says that Jam Miller did not participate in today's scrimmage. So kind of goes with what I said in the black jersey, right? Which I don't think is a and then this is also from Tony Tsoukalis. Alabama offensive lineman Jaden Roberts. Let's see. Sorry, these Kalen DeBoer, this is from Blake Byler. Kalen DeBoer said Jaden Roberts, who missed today's scrimmage, would be ready for week 1. So there you go. All right. So that's the update on the injury. Jaden Roberts. So it seems like, if you look to Xavier Brown, who was injured with the club, and it seems like whatever happened to Jaden Roberts, he's going to be ready for, see, you're seeing it too, Lamarion. I appreciate you being here. So it looks like he's going to be ready for week 1. So it's fine. Guys are nicked up, banged up during this point in time. Not a big deal. Not worried about it at all. Hey, Alan, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. So, I mean, he's the Hulk. So I think I stopped by, and this needs to be updated. It should be Graham Nicholson. That's my apologies. I'm responsible for the graphics. I made a mistake. If you watch my shows, this isn't the first time it has happened. I'm responsible. I'll clean it up for next show. Nicholson is a young man who did an amazing job today. Much better job kicking today than he did, I think, the first scrimmage. Let's say he did, like, I don't know, let's grade him, let's be tough. C+ in the first scrimmage. People weren't impressed. I promise you. This scrimmage, I probably say A, which is where he should be. He's an A+ kicker. Think he missed one today, but other than that, he was good. Talked about Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell, both those guys getting after the quarterback. And then spoke about, one guy I wanted to say, kind of like trending up, and one guy that I really want to highlight is Jalen Mbakwe. Man. Super Chads. Super Chats. Man, and people are always like, man, they're like, it's so funny. I see in the comment box, like people talk about like my delivery, right? It is so interesting because I'm not white, I'm not black. So they're like, why? You know, dude, I'm just me. Like I'm from New Mexico. That's where I'm from. Surprise, I went to New Mexico State. Surprise, I went to Central College in Pella, Iowa. Like I've lived in DC. I've lived in Los Angeles. I mean, now I live in beautiful Tuscaloosa where it's been hot. Man, Jalen Mbakwe, look, okay, I think he will see time. Let me ask you, if you're from the state of Alabama, how excited are you to think about Jalen Mbakwe? You saw him win a state championship. He beat Ryan Williams last year head-to-head. Jalen Mbakwe probably going to see time at the corner position. Is he going to be the first guy out there? No. But think about this, which is crazy. He didn't even play the corner position. That wasn't his primary position. And now he's coming over. He got here in the springtime. Now he is probably like the third corner, the second off the bench. He's going to be repping with the ones. Plus, he probably going to be returning kicks. And maybe could be a guy who returns punts. Man, so... yeah, a guy that can certainly play all over the field, man. Jalen Mbakwe is that guy for sure. So I just wanted to highlight him. And then also Rico Scott, man, he had a really good day. So for those of you out there that were kind of, wondering about another freshman wide receiver who's turning heads, Rico Scott's that guy. I didn't hear like an update on Caleb Odom. I didn't even really hear an update on like Austin Mack today. We did have an update on King Mack. But didn't really have an update on Austin Mack. And I heard that, the one thing that I did hear about Ty Simpson is that he did play well today, and he had a 40-yard pass to Emmanuel Henderson. Which is good, which is great timing considering we just had a feature on Emmanuel Henderson. You just heard Nick Sheridan talking about Emmanuel Henderson, right? Couple quotes coming in. I'll just read these off again. Please follow like the great reporters out there that are covering the team on a day. Like those guys absolutely grind. Everybody's grinding in this business. This is another one coming in from Tony Sukala. Says Kalen DeBoer on punt returner or a punter James Burnup. He's been nothing but phenomenal through camp. He's probably a guy that doesn't get enough credit. Is James Burnup, right? Think about, like, I watched that guy. He got better and better throughout the season. And I still go back to that Michigan game because I was on the sidelines. I didn't Keon Sabb did his thing. I didn't hear, like, anything, negative about the secondary's play today, to be honest. I mean, I think those guys are competing. But I think that, like, James Burnup, I still think about that punt. Stay with me here, okay? We're in the Rose Bowl. James Burnup punts it late in the game. And it seemed to me like the ball, like a player from Michigan hit the ball and it went into the end zone. Do you remember this? I was right there on the sideline, and Michigan got a spot on like the 2. It was late in the game. Honestly, that could be the difference why Alabama didn't win a national title. Hey, Jonathan, and with the super chat, man, I appreciate it. Can we make the super chat goal $20? We're already at 10. Can we make it 20? A 20 spot? I appreciate you, Jed. Long-time listener, man. I appreciate you being here right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let's see what else the team reporters are saying out there. Kalen DeBoer mentioned that Washington transferred Jeremy Bernard as an option as a returner. He did that at Washington. Not surprised to hear it. From what I understand today, the special teams report is it looks like Jalen Mbakwe and Cole Adams could be guys to do that, and as well as Ryan Williams and Emmanuel Henderson in that second team fold. Punt returner, it looks like the guy right now, if like Alabama was to play a game later on tonight, could be Cole Adams. Jam Miller missed today. I don't think it's a marquee injury by any stretch of the imagination. And then Jaden Roberts, it's kind of the injury report. We don't know what it is. Said he's in a sling. And but Coach Kalen DeBoer said today that he will be ready for week 1, which is great. You know what? And it provides these next couple of days for an opportunity to Geno Vandermark to continue to work in, because he can work at center, he can work at guard. And then, like I said, Nicholson, absolutely a weapon today. So the big plays, if you're just joining us, I appreciate you guys coming in. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube, live every single Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And then as major news happens or after scrimmages or whatever. But the big plays today, kind of take you to a recap. Jalen Milroe, first drive, 40-yard connection to Ryan Williams. Doesn't go for a touchdown, and actually ended with a 41-yard field goal by Graham Nicholson. You also had Jalen Milroe hitting Rico Scott for a 30-yard touchdown. Talked about that. Heard there was a little bit of razzle-dazzle. I don't want to like give away like their scheme, like they're it's a closed deal, but it seems like it's a little bit of razzle-dazzle where Jalen Milroe was able to score, on a 20-yard run. Heard that Ty Simpson had a beautiful pass to Emmanuel Henderson, which is dope to hear. Heard that Deontay Lawson, Jalen and Jaha Campbell. Oh, like. I mean, I don't think Jimmy Lee Baker's inside the comment box right now, but he said that those two guys would be top 10 picks. I wouldn't be surprised. I've been talking about Jaha Campbell, and everybody knows who Deontay Lawson is. When you're out there watching them on the field, 0 and number 11. Didn't he have an update on like Keon Keeley? And I'll, on my Monday show, after kind of the dust has settled, I'll have, more intel from like what we learned. Right after, kind of piece more things together. Richard Young repping with the first team running backs today as Jam Miller set out, was in a black jersey. Probably just, still a little bit banged up. Need him 100% healthy. Had a 10-yard touchdown run. King Mack with the interception. King Mack, man. I think he'll be ready when he's called on. Had an interception, which was, I think, off Dylan Lonergan. But Lonergan responded, and he had a touchdown to Rico Scott. So Rico Scott caught 2 touchdowns from what I understand today. I see you inside the comment box, Brent. You could read the Nuggets kind of report right here for free on Bama Football on YouTube. You didn't have like a big update on, the defensive line or kind of that wolf position. Maybe that'll come out kind of later. But, earlier this week, Kane Womack called LT Overton a 280-pound ass kicker. I think that says a lot about what he thinks about LT Overton. And you start to see that bandit position. I think it's good. Let's. What I usually like to do is I like to go kind of over the depth chart. So I'll close this video out talking about kind of the depth chart, hit on some players that we haven't hit on. If the players aren't on the screen, that doesn't mean I don't have like respect for the players. It just means that, might not have an update or might not even have them on the graphic or whatever. So Jalen Milroe today, had a really polished. This is the second scrimmage where he's played at an absolutely elite level. A big connection with Ryan Williams, hit Rico Scott and scored from 20 yards out. Ty Simpson had a really nice pass to Emmanuel Henderson. And actually, I heard that he looked really good today too. I don't really have an update on Austin Mack. I'll try to get one. Dylan Lonergan had a touchdown to Rico Scott and also an interception. The running back room, it's a little bit banged up right now. Justice Haynes, I think, had some nice runs. Richard Young had a touchdown. I don't even think there's an update yet on Daniel Hill, who was also in a sling. Haven't really heard too much about Kevin Riley, and Jam Miller didn't play today. What's up, Fred Turner? I see you inside the comment box. Tight end room, I don't know if any of these guys caught a touchdown today. I didn't hear that. Although I'm really excited about CJ Dupree this year. Like, I think that, he's a very experienced tight end. Remember when he came from Maryland? He did a good job last year, but I think this year, I would say, I wouldn't be surprised if he catches like 5 to 7 touchdowns, right? Is that too much? How many touchdowns do you think CJ Dupree catches for? Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. Wide receiver depth, like I don't have Jaron Hamilton or Caleb Odom. No disrespect to those guys or anyone else, or like Rico Scott. No disrespect to those guys. They're just the guys who were kind of repping with the ones. Ryan Williams, big catch today. Jeremy Bernard, I think he was, Kalen DeBoer said that he could even be a return guy, which isn't surprising considering he did it at Washington. Cole Adams, that's a guy who looks to be the punt returner right now and also going to get on the field. Kendrick Law, that guy is going to get ready to eat. Caleb Odom had a really good scrimmage last time. Don't have too much detail on him today, or nothing on like Kobe Prentice. But it's like, the news comes as it comes. Fred Turner, thank you so much, man, for hitting that super chat, man. Thank you so much. We hit our super chat goal of $20. Thank you so much. And then the depth chart today, it looks like Jaden Roberts suffered some sort of a minor injury. Kalen DeBoer said he's going to be back in action. In his place, Geno Vandermark, who's a very, very talented guard for Alabama. Really, he could play center. I think he's a third-team center, and let's call him second-team guard. To talked about the transfer, I'll update some of these graphics because some of them, we need to kind of refresh. I don't think Kendrick Law is second team. I think he's first team. I just think what they're going to do is put the best players in the position based off the formation that they're running. That's the thing about, looking at Alabama's offense. There's so much talent. It's hard to keep guys off the field. And you can keep them fresh, right? D tackle, position. Tim Keenan's had a monster fall camp. All these guys have. It's really good to see Jaheim Otis back. James Smith is a guy that people probably sleeping on, and then same thing with Damon Payne. I like that depth right there because you need to be able to rotate those guys in. Bandit, LT Overton. I think he probably had the best week out of the guys. Keon Keeley, he's right there. This is a very, very deep group. Look at the guys. Look at these. We have 5 guys right here. And you have 4 guys right here. Like that's a lot of talent right here that you can keep fresh. You are going to need so much depth during this season. The wolf position, this might be kind of my favorite position after that running back room. It's crazy. Like I don't even. If I had to really start someone right now, I'd probably start Keanu, but I don't know. It's hard to sleep on Quay. I just think all those guys, man, I think I start Keanu. I don't know. It's too hard for me, man. I'm glad I don't make those decisions. Xavier Brown back with the first team today. He's going to be that guy to start. Bama 212. Looks like Jaden Roberts is a little bit banged up. He's an Alabama right guard. He was in a sling. Coach Kalen DeBoer followed that up with saying that he's going to be ready to go for that first game. So I wouldn't sweat too much about that. Geno Vandermark steps in. Debo has 5 stars there. I know. It's crazy. Jalen Mbakwe, we gave him a game ball today just because he's kind of on the rise, playing at different positions. And I think, he's the first guy in to go in at that corner spot. Deshaun Jones, still in the mix as well. The inside linebackers, we talked about them today. Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell, I gave them game balls based off what I heard. Justin Jefferson, he's probably had an incredible, he's one of the guys that is having an amazing fall camp. And you've heard, man, how many times, I always ask you this, okay? Put a O inside the comment box if you've heard good things on the sites you read, the other YouTube channels you watch, good things about Justin Okoronkwo. I have. People talking about him. And this is the other thing. There's plenty of websites. There's plenty of YouTube channels that cover Alabama football. Don't feel like you just have to pledge to one. Please support all of the channels. Big, small, they all have different styles. They're all really, look, there's a lot of content creators that are trying to put their best foot forward. So please cover them. Whether they got, just support the Alabama brand. That's all I'm asking. Appreciate you guys for doing that. Bama safeties, Malachi Moore, Keon Saab, Devontae Smith. Man, the 2 guys, that I'm really excited for this season that are making my comeback of year over year is Devontae Smith and Emmanuel Henderson. 2 of the guys that were just shortchanged. Injuries, they happen, it's part of it. But those are 2 of my guys that I feel, I'm excited because these guys deserve to show how good they are. And people don't really know how good they are just yet. I can't imagine being Devontae's. Imagine having the name Devontae Smith and coming over here to Alabama. You got to have some stones because Devontae Smith, I say he's my favorite player that I've covered. He didn't really give the best overall lengthy interviews. He was just super stoic, super to the point. But how he played on the field, I strongly feel he had that Mamba mentality. That's it. I can't even imagine coming over with, imagine what your name was Nick Saban or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a bunch of good shows inside the comment box. Appreciate you guys supporting them. Here's kind of a glance at that 4-2-5 defense that we've talked about a bunch of times. Alabama's first 4 games. We'll just take a quick peek at some of these additional graphics as we roll through the show. First 4 games. Western Kentucky, as you just saw, Jaden Roberts will be ready for that game. Then you have South Florida. I always say in my morning shows, you have to take it to South Florida. Take it to him, Coach Kalen DeBoer. You have Wisconsin. That game's an early game. But the first 3 games here at Bryant-Denny Stadium, all under the lights, right? Love to see it. Alabama, from what I saw, I mean, these lines probably changed a little bit, but Alabama favored by 31.5 against Western Kentucky, favored by 34 against South Florida, 9.5 against Wisconsin. I take the only one I you know what? I think Alabama will take it to I would probably take them against I feel more confident for whatever reason against Wisconsin than I do South Florida in terms of points. Now, Alabama owes South Florida a butt whooping, right? But I think because they might try to play time of possession, that I don't know how that game's going to go, because it was like a methodical approach by South Florida, right? That game dragged. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, Nick, I see you inside Nikola Tesla. I think great point. It was like methodical. It was frustrating. They kept the ball. The quarterback kept running up the middle of the field. However, this year, you run up the middle of the field, you're going to meet Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell. I don't know if anybody's going to like that. Let's see. We talked about some freshman standouts. I've asked this before, like about the top Bama duos, because it's just so crazy. Jam and Justice, Jaden Roberts, or Tyler Booker, Deontay Lawson and Campbell, Malachi Moore and Saab. We've hit on that. And then I've asked you before, thank you, Jarvis. It's an annoying style to play against, for sure. I've asked this, toughest road game. When we did this, I think everyone voted Tennessee, right? I think I voted, LSU, but I think collectively the fans voted Tennessee. I could see the Tennessee reasoning, just because that's the Kalen Ward's first game on the road, but it's not like the players. Like, they played in SEC environment. Mitchell, I get it. That's a good point, but it's just like that style of play was like slow, and man, that game pissed me off. I was against South Florida. I think it pissed everybody off. It was like being stuck in the mud. I hated that game. That's probably, like, as I look back on games that were like the most frustrating, I think that game had me rattled. Here's a look at the AP Top 25. Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Bama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan, and Florida State. You guys already know who I feel is overrated in this. I ain't going to talk about them anymore. Let's cruise through a couple more times. AK Deer, you see this? He's getting ready to announce on, in just a couple days, on August 20th. Yo, AK, I think if he looks, look, there's no need to rush any sort of commitment. I'm curious to look. I think let me ask you. I go to the comment box right now since we have everybody. So that's Tuesday. Thank you, Travis. Type A inside the comment box if you think AK Deer will commit to Bama. Joe Kroons, I know, man. The Irish, they're so overrated, bro. I'm gonna say A. I don't even do predictions. I don't know. I don't talk to the only teenager that I talk to is my son. Adam, what's up, man? We aren't going 12-0. I don't think any team is going. Dude, the good thing about this season is nobody has like an ultimate cupcake. And we looked at the schedules the other day. I still need to update that graphic on Ole Miss. I'll try to remember to do that. Let's see if I can. I don't even know if I still have it in my deck. Yo, Nick Sheridan, look at that, man. He's got this offense. He literally got the car. Is there a better car out there to drive than like Bugatti? What would be like a better analogy for like the type of car that he got? Right? I mean, yeah, see? Nikola Tesla feeling good about AK. Okay. Justice Haynes. We talked about the running backs. We talked about Emmanuel Henderson, who had a really good camp. That was a funny story by Nick Kelly. And I think as you look to kind of the position battles right now, I don't really see a lot. I think the only thing that I think will be interesting to track is kind of the wide receivers. Like, how will those wide receivers rotate? And I don't think there's like just like a set group. I think there will be a set group of starters, but there's just so much talent within the wide receiver room. I don't. At one point in time, I felt like I knew who was going to start. I don't really know who's going to start right now, wide receiver. I have no idea. I kind of feel like Ryan Williams is going to be one of the starters. Hey, what's up, Lions Pride? By the way, the hat is Chris Mobley. Been rocking this, for a couple days now. I asked this, a couple days ago. I listed players who could be breakout players. So you can check that out as well. But anyways, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me on this free nugget session right here. My name is Kyle Henderson at Bama Football on YouTube. Put up a video yesterday of Jalen Milroe, and I asked, a couple different questions. And while I'm live, do you think that he'll throw for over 3,000 yards? I do. I'm gonna take the over on that, and he's gonna throw for more than 25 touchdowns, right? He's going to. Oh, and this one's easy, okay? Hey, Jimmy Kelly, what's up, man? Cole Adams returning punts today, and I think he's still in the mix to be, within that group of starting receivers. Less than 40 sacks. It's great. This is the stat that boggles my mind still from last season, is that he was sacked 44 times. Adeline Pell is saying over like 3,500. Efron, what's up, man? Appreciate you, man. Dude, everything's expensive these days, man. Everything. More than 600 rushing yards. This is a good one. I'm going to say over on this one as well. Again, I released a video last night asking about some of these with Jalen Milroe. I think he's going to catch or run for over 600 yards. Because he's not going to be. Think about it this way. He was sacked last year 44 times, which in college football goes against your rushing yard, your net total. You see what I'm saying? So really, I think the total that he ran for was like almost 900 yards, but he only netted what 531. You see what I'm saying? How about this one? You think he wins the Heisman? What'd you vote on last night on that video? I'm saying yes. I got him at 1,400. I couldn't believe the MGM put him at 1,400. There was a time, I don't know why they did that. 1,400. Don't do that. Adam saying, Adam loves to talk about Milroe. I love it. I love Adam, man. I love you, man. Milroe will definitely run for over 500 yards, and he needs to use legs because this is what makes him hard to defend. I just think just unleash him. Is this live? Yeah, Marcus, this is live, man. We looked at the top schedules. All right. I'll go one more time back to the Nuggets as we kind of close out here, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here right here on Bama Football on YouTube. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Please continue to support everybody that has a YouTube channel, whatever, and thanks for being here right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And I love covering the Alabama Crimson Tide. I love talking about the Nugget. I'm just excited because look, I got an opportunity to cover the Alabama Crimson Tide, which is a great privilege for me. This is how I, make a living covering the football team. So in any shape or form, all of your support really helps, even just hitting a thumbs up. So the Nuggets is something that I pride myself in, being able to deliver that to you guys today. So I'll put them full screen one more time so you guys can screenshot or whatever. I mean, you used to have to be able to pay for different things. But there's a lot of people who are going to the YouTube way because they know that, they can earn a living that way as well. I think even some of like those big sites out there, now you see them just posting everything for free on their YouTube channel. So I think it's kind of changing at the times. I'm just glad that, I started the YouTube channel when I did 8 years ago. It's kind of been brick by brick, 106,000 subscribers. And I really appreciate each and every one of you guys, being on board when we talk Alabama Crimson Tide football. My name is Kyle Henderson. I'm really appreciative of you guys supporting the product right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Please hit the thumbs up. Stay tuned for more news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And I will catch up with you next show. or as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful rest of your Saturday and stay tuned for more coverage right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See ya.